It's the NFL on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the NFC North. It's the Vikings and the Packers, next on Madden NFL 22.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings.
Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers, because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lambeau. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number one along with the rest of this Packer offense.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
Rodgers now on first down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
That's it, baby. There it is. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Rodgers. Open man, here is Cobb. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 33. To throw, it's Rodgers.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Rodgers will try again on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. And Crosby puts it through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They're being led out by their quarterback out of Oregon State, standing tall at 6'6", Sean Mannion.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Cook able to escape, and he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Here's Mannion. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. He had no options downfield there and just chucked it out of bounds.
There was no one open. He was in the pocket. Where was the intentional grounding call?
Oh, you wanted the flag.
Of course I did. I'm a defensive guy. You know that. Where was the flag? The officials point out that someone was in the area. He got away with it.
Throwing is Mannion.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
And out across midfield down to the 45.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A give. This is Cook. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a give running right. It's Cook. And flags come as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
They'll drop to throw. His throw incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, and it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rodgers again now. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Caught by Cobb. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. The kick by Crosby is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kicks are away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking long for Westbrook.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. They'll look to throw here.
Throw caught there by Osborne.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Vikings.
KJ Osborne.
75 yards. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT.
Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear,
there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those sixes on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Now it's Rodgers. That's complete, and once again, it's Cobb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. And Crosby puts it through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
You do a little play with me, baby.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run, Cook. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he will take this all the way down to the Packers' 25-yard line. A big play there out of the running game.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And this is why more and more teams are getting their wide receivers involved in the running game. When you've got playmakers on the perimeter, you've got to get creative and find ways to get the ball in their hands. And here, this is a great job. You get out of that initial contact and turn it into a big play.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Through one quarter, 9-7 our score. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. It's Preston Smith. He gets the sack there.
That starts out a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Back to throw here. They'll dump this off to Cook. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. Joseph's got it. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Joseph now to kick this one away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Xavier Woods with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith, his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Looking to throw. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. He'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Setting up the screen for Cook. Touchdown! Dalvin Cook from 10 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 8. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
Rodgers on the return.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense.
And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. And his throw here is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. On the delay, Jones. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. Back deep, D.D. Westbrook. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Here's Mannion. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
Throwing is Mannion. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well. And they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill in for a loss.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 24.
He'll begin the drive with a give to Jones.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Good job, good job.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that's incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick 47. This one looks good as well. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And this is Cook with a grab. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by him and setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And this is incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On now is the Packers punter, standing just outside his own goal line. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Shifts by him. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
Kingsley Kiki in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and abundant. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw.
42 yards on the ground for him so far.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 15. He'll look to throw.
Open man is Osborne. He's got it.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the 2nd quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers caught right side. It's Lewis. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play from our studios in Orlando. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Under pressure, and down he goes. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On now is the Packers punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive.
7 yards, the pickup there.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers.
A check down here to Jones.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. This is intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
And that now 2 interceptions thrown in this 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a 2nd one.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Middle of the field to Jefferson.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From just shy of midfield, Mannion. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Chris Barnes.
And a potential turning point as they get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Adams. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Crosby is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Vikings in that first half. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 59 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kingsley Keke able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Mannion, that's to Cook out of the backfield. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 6.
Here's a give to Jones running left. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers.
Throw right side, going to be complete to DeGuara.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. To throw, it's Rodgers. Complete, this is Lewis. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
They'll try the left side. Jones. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Caught by Cobb. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Rodgers, and that is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Now it's Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 53. And Crosby puts it through. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Minnesota now ready for their next possession.
And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. On the ground, it's Cook. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 74 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a run with Cook. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Here's Mannion. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Throwing is Mannion. Setting up the screen for Cook. Oh, good move. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackled for just a short gain.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
The Packers offense set to go.
And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Well, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on third down. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The D-tackle, Sheldon Richardson, came barreling in for the sack.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Got an open man, it's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead 3rd quarter.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
3rd quarter of a 2-point game, a good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if we can drive the bus here again on this drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw.
That's complete to his running back, Jefferson.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Open man here is Conklin. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mannion. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll look to throw again. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Cook.
And he is marked down right about on top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there.
A little extra pressure with this one for Greg Joseph.
The kick by Joseph is good. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Joseph now to kick this one away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Open man, here's Cobb. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of. And in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of. Trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flat. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up. Oh, no, he lost the football.
And the Packers are right back in this football game.
So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Now a dump off here complete.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
What may seem a little unorthodox to some people, got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Back to throw again.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Dean Lowry in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks out, somebody's there defensively. It was the same case on that play. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And this was still going to be a one-score game either way, but still, that's a potentially harmful miss here in the 4th.
It certainly is, because if you consider that now if they give up a touchdown, they give up the lead. So he might be getting the side eye, but the defender's coming out on the field now as he goes back to the bench after that miss.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 45. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cobb. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On second down, it's Jones. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
40 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. A gain of 6 there on first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers.
A check down here to Jones.
Only able to gain a couple there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Now Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that's understanding where the markers are because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
And again, it's Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Again, it's Jones. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams there to make the grab. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Is incomplete, but there's a flag down. So let's see what we've got. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Here's Mannion. Keeps himself upright.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Mannion. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Packers have just about sewn up this football game.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They'll go again to Jones. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. To throw is Rodgers. They'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll indeed take a knee. On second down now, it's Jones. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
And how about this finish? Able to take a knee, run out the clock, and close this game out by 1 point. You talk about how many coaches we talked to? They all said the same. All I want to do is win by 1 point. That got tested in this one.
Yep, and that cliche rings true. A single penny separates this one. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of. But now it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.